Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lascelles Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is, episode 277, Penny Stocks Live, the American Investor Show. You guys already know what it is. Shout out to a good fan of mine, Renelle C. She follows me on Instagram, watches the show here and there. She's in the Charlotte area. And she said, hey, look, I saw your review on Black Panther. I'm going again. Can you please join me? I was like, you know what? I don't really have nothing to do. And all right, I'll join you. And just got out of Black Panther not even, 15 minutes ago. And, my feelings are still the same. All right. Market was closed today. Got a great chance to look at some stocks. I shared quite a few videos with you guys in the last show. If you don't have the link to my Google Drive, email me, happypennystocks@gmail.com. I shared the drive with you guys on the last show. You should have that. Great video on options using that RSI signal by NEM. I'm not going to tell you the website he's from because you guys are going to run over there and tell him I'm giving you the video for free. That's a $2,500 video set, by the way. He charges $2,500 for that. I'm trying to help the community out by giving y'all that thing. Y'all running around telling these people I'm trying, I'm giving you their shit. It's crazy, man. Got some haters in here. But soak that in, download it to your computer because you never know when it might get struck down, and it is what it is. All right? Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Doing my part to help out the community. Yeah, man, we got some haters up in here, bro. That was the same thing with the Tim Sykes situation. Giving the people that free stuff. Changed my name to Killmonger. Nah, yeah, stop snitching, man. Shit. All right. So today, look, there's a lot of talk this weekend on the gun situation. I didn't mention on the previous episodes unfortunate lives of those young people that were taken by, this kid who just, felt like he could do it, and he did. And he did, man. And sad story. But I don't think things are ever going to change in terms of the gun situation. They're never, ever going to do anything about it. I don't think so, because there's just so much wrapped up into that. There's so much wrapped up into that. All right, that doesn't have anything to do with necessarily protecting kids in class. It's a lot more into that this show isn't the proper venue for that. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Terry Cherry, Gerardo, what's up, man? John Rambo. C. Melendez, Lennox John, Lord Yase. Or Yase. My damn, I fucked it up again. Yase. DK Trades. One Mark DC. I'm going to give you all a link in a second. Mr. JRH. Shout out to all the people in the chat room. Pro Woman J. You appreciated the Black Panther review. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that, man. They done turned Black Panther into a damn coon, bro. Yes, indeed. That review was actually the first episode of the podcast, but it was so hot. I was like, man, this shit is fire. I gotta, that's why I was recording into it. I wasn't meant to really be on camera. It was actually meant to be, but the shit was so hot. I had to put it up. Yes, indeed, DK Trades. Thank you for joining us. All right, so let's get to it, man. And again, market was closed today. You guys already know what the number is, 305-600-2896. I want to talk a few things. Those of you guys who watch those videos, there's some really interesting plays developing across the market. One of my favorite ways of trading, particularly options, is I don't like to trade anything lower than the 60-minute chart. And you're looking at some solid entries across the board where you're talking about, especially these large caps, because obviously that's where you want to trade these options. By the way, put the tickers in the chat room. We'll talk about your tickers. I see RKD. We'll take yours in just a second. But I want to show a couple here that I wrote about. One of them, CAT, that looks like is trying to make a move. Indecisive right now. So we're going to see is CAT. It's almost been, what, about 2.5, 3 days since CAT been over the 50. Would have been a very solid return for anybody who went in there on CAT when it crossed the 50 on that 60 in the 60-minute time chart. You would have came in at 150. Of course, when it broke a moving average line, more than likely one of my favorite, whether it be the 5 or 8, as it crossed below it, that's where you would have taken profits. Is again here, as you can see, the cross over the 50. Here's your entry. All right, as it crosses the 50, your exit is where it breaks down below the 8 exponential moving average. But solid return. Now, this is an opportunity. I'm looking at the possible put tomorrow on that. Because as you can see here, when it does make a clean break to the put side, to the downside, it's a very solid return. It's a very, very solid return all the way. I mean, this would have been a beautiful, oh, wow, look at that. 169 to a low of 148. That would have been a great swing trade. All right, and I'll pull up a couple more throughout the show, not to overwhelm you, but nice trade. Again, using that 60-minute time frame with options to end up 50 line on the RSI to decide where to go in and out, and it does a really good job of determining, to help you figure out a great trade to make. Yes, DPG, it is a great market to trade right now. All right, let's look at your tickers. Right now. And I saw somebody bring up one. What was that R1? I saw somebody real quick. We just mentioned it. Oh, SNCR. What's going on, Ken? I see Ken in the chat room. SNCR. All right. You guys know we don't have a Friday show, so these moves we're looking at are Friday's moves. These are Friday's moves. Here's the daily chart, SNCR. Very bearish. 2017, 2018 hasn't been so favorable. Looks like we got some good news recently. A lot of volume coming in there on Friday. Gap up opening. Based on the chart, it's not a strong sign that the continued move should continue in that, going higher, but I can't find what was the news about. I don't see any news for the move. So whoever brought up SNCR, give us you already know the number. Call me in if I'm not seeing it, because I'm definitely not seeing any news to justify that move from 7 to 905. So let me know if I'm missing something here. All right. Yes, Bats. What's up, Bats? I see Bats in the building. Londale Carter, what's up, man? Life for Business, Shirley Lewis. Shout out to all the people in the chat room right now. All right, damn, chat room's moving fast. Damn, shit. What else did you guys pull up? I know you guys put up some tickers in here. Ken, I know you just put up a bunch of tickers. There it is. USZ. Ken, your ANDI has been a beast, bro. I was watching his ANDI on Friday. I was like, God, this thing's got some decent volume. It's trading like a large cap stock. It had the pullback and everything. FUSZ up 7%. Up 7%. You really needed that green day on Friday. You couldn't afford to have a red day on FUSZ on Friday. That needed that. That really, really needed that, because a second red day that would have broken below that 42 cents, I think you would have been in danger. And in fact, it's so funny because the low on Friday was exactly 42 cents, and you needed to hold that level. You needed to hold that level. What's going on, Stockerfella? AKS. Shout out to Bat Scientist for the AKS move, man. Bats, you had brought up, I think this is him calling right now. 919, you're on the air. Bats, is that you?
That's me, sir. How are you?
Bats, thank you so much for the call, bro. I got to give it to you, man. AKS. You got to let us know how you saw that coming. I saw you enjoying the ride on Friday, tweeting like crazy about it. I said, man, Bats is really enjoying himself. Let's go over that trade, man, because you really hit it on the head with the move. What did you see here?
Okay, so you see the low RSI hammer that was 5 days ago. Okay. So that should have been where I would have gotten in, but I got in after the second green day after that hammer.
Okay,
so I got in at 4 exactly.
About 480, right?
483 to be precise.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got in there, and that's when news on the import tariffs coming out of the Department of Commerce, that news started to come out that, listen, our iron and steel industry and aluminum industries are hurting here in the U.S. Donald Trump essentially wants to increase tariffs on imports coming into the country. So by increasing tariffs, it means that less comes into the country, and it means that domestic businesses do well. Absolutely. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I went in, and so, like I said, I dropped 10,000 at 483. I like to say how much I put on there for transparency reasons, because people don't actually talk about their trades. They just said, hey, I made 5,000. So I'm doing this not to brag that I've got money, but you could have dropped 1,000, you could have dropped $100. I just want to be transparent so that I like to show my trades, So anyway, I got in at 483, rode it till Friday. Now my aim was to sell at 605, which was actually the point where I would have $2,500 in gains. I decided against selling it because I then looked at the weekly chart, and if you look at the weekly chart, basically the stock is only getting started right now.
Right, I see. Look at that tear from
daily
last week.
Looks good. Yeah. And good that you brought this up, because that's what I was going to talk about. Dates to mark on your calendar with respect to aluminum and steel imports and tariffs. Donald Trump has to make a decision on whether he's going to put the tariffs into place, what percentage he's going to increase the tariffs by. That's happening. For steel, he's got until April the 11th. So technically, I should actually hold this until Donald Trump makes a decision, technically. So steel, he has to decide by April 11th. Aluminum, he has to decide by April 19th. And I did tweet about this at Bat Scientist, and I did attach a link to that article.
Now, Bats, when you say he has to decide, why is there's time sensitivity to this? Who's waiting for that particular date, and why that particular date?
Okay, so this recommendation came from the Department of Commerce. With any type of change in policy or any type of import-export decisions, like anything else, there has to be a timeline associated with it. He doesn't have to implement the increased tariffs. He just has a deadline in which to make a response. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, so like I said, April 11th for steel, and then April 19th. Obviously, he could give an answer tomorrow and say, yeah, this is what we're going to do. My guess is he has to. He's obliged to somehow at least implement some kind of an increase, because I know they were talking about 50% increases in tariffs, 60-something%. At the most, he'll say, okay, we're increasing it by 5 or 10%, or should I say at the least. Because, I mean, he promised jobs, he promised, middle-class Americans that things were going to get better. The last thing he wants to do is go against the recommendations of the Department of Commerce and say, no, I won't be increasing tariffs, because then that hurts domestic industries, domestic businesses. Absolutely. So he will do something. That's my guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's definitely going to be, that will work into his idea of creating jobs as well. I mean, if we're going to be talking about domestic production increasing because of tariffs, then that falls in line with his promises. So that it looks good that, he should go ahead and implement those tariffs.
And what might happen in the short term is you might see an increase in automobile prices. Anything that's attached to these minerals or metals, you might have an initial increase, because remember, prior to this, all of these minerals and metals have been coming in by the cheap. So it means then that when you increase domestic production and the demand is high, it means now the price of those things will go up.
Absolutely.
So there's a little counterintuitiveness about this, but, for me, I think I need to hold on to AKS until, at least give it a few more weeks. Let's see what it's doing, because Friday was the first day where it really did more than a 2x relative volume. So I'm going to hold on to this and see what happens.
Okay.
And then last but not least, so I was going to talk about AKS. Thanks for bringing that up. I've got an excellent long options call pick for you, and I'll explain why.
Let me see it.
It's not a company that historically you've loved. And, if you're political along those lines, you'll be familiar with Halliburton, HAL.
Ooh, okay. The evildoers. All right, let's see what Halliburton. Oh, I haven't heard this name in a long time. Interesting. Interesting. So, what do you see here?
Yeah, Dick Cheney used to be, an executive on that, but I don't know if he's still involved with it. But these guys are based out of Houston, Texas. They've got 55,000 employees. So let's just say this company's not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so this is my thesis or my trading idea with this one. Remember I discussed, I think it was last week, on my earnings and dividends play, and how you should wait till after earnings till you get the dip. Okay, so I've got the full skinny on this research I did on this.
Okay.
So if you look at January 22nd, that's when the earnings were released. What happened to the stock price after the 22nd?
Definitely sold off.
It sells off to right down to a low, right down now where it's consolidating. Guess what triggered the sell-off? So I looked into the sell-off, and guess what? The smart money, I think 4 or 5 executives sold substantial shares at the top on earnings day. So that caused the price to drop. Right now, I think we're at a bottom, which is why I'm saying get a long call option of this in the money or at the money, 47.50. That's where you need to get that call. It's right now at 47.50. Assuming it stays there, you can get at the money or in the money. All right. I'm actually talking like I know about options, and
No. I mean, I like the trade. It's sitting on the 200. It's a very nice call on the weekly as well as in the daily. I'm looking at the weekly chart. Very nice. Sitting at the 50 line, looking like it could bounce off that. It has done it before. I'm seeing a previous time where, again, sitting very close to the 50, it bounced off that. So I actually like this. I like that call here, and I'm surprised it's got a very aggressive PE ratio, 127. That's pretty high for an energy company, but
pretty high.
That's saying that investors see this as a growth stock, which is really interesting because Halliburton's been around for a little bit. So that's very interesting to see that.
Well, but that's also, it's a growth stock because look at the price we're getting it at. It's coming from a high of 57. We're trying to get in at 47. So that helps, towards it being classified as a growth stock right now. But I'm not finished yet. Okay, so today, declaration day for the dividend, they declared an 18-cent dividend today. So guess what's going to happen? This is the low that I predict will be the low. Dividend has been declared. It will start going up from tomorrow. And dividend day is on the 3rd of March. So if I were buying a long call option of this, I'm choosing March the 2nd, however many weeks that is from now, or the following week, March the 9th. And if you really are patient, you can reap the rewards and wait until earnings, which will be February, March, April, about April 23rd, April 24th. Hold it until then because you're looking at possibly reclaiming that 57 high. Because remember I said after earnings and after dividends, okay, so initially the dividend that's coming on the 3rd of March, my guess is there'll be a transient or a temporary drop in price, not that low, but then after that it continues to go up and continues to go up until earnings. So I don't know if you have your options calculated there, but assuming you went in right now at 47.50 and you held it for a $10 gain, how much are you looking at with an expiration date of, I think, April, whatever is closest to April 2024?
Okay, I'll have to do some math on that, but I'm ahead of you at looking at the price right now. The April 20th, 2018 for 47.50 is going for 224. That's the ask. You might be able to get it for a little cheaper. So, ladies and gentlemen who know, that means it's going for $224 per contract. Now, in a situation like that, I would probably buy maybe 10 of those just because I'm not familiar with that company. So I would go April 20th, 47.50. They're giving me the two. We'll do that. Get 10 contracts. That'll cost me $2,200 or $2,230 to be exact. And you're saying the profit could be $10?
$10, yes, by April 20th.
So 50. Let's say 52.25. All right, so 52.25. If we get there by April, let's say 15th, and we get to $52, my profit will be $2,200, $2,280 to be exact. So a return of 102%.
Bingo.
On my $2,200 investment. Yeah.
That is my prediction on Halliburton, but if you want to go pick an expiration date sooner, go for March the 2nd or March the 9th. I believe that those are the Friday. Yeah, March 2nd or March 9th.
Okay.
And then you won't reap as much as 102% theoretically, but you'll still do exceptionally well.
Right,
and
right.
Yep, that's all I have for you, Sal. But look at Halliburton. Just try it, because this phenomenon where after earnings the price dips to a low, wait for the low, and then trade it into the next earnings. This is golden. This is golden.
I love where the stock is in comparison to where you look at these levels, these RSI levels. Throughout the chart on the daily, I mean, this is a beautiful time to buy this stock. I mean, because when it works itself out of these levels, I mean, it's incredible opportunity every single time at these levels, especially when you look back at August or look back in November, or even you know, something as far back as May. You got, you know, anywhere between $6 to $11 on the move. So
exactly.
It's a great RSI. Yeah, it's a great RSI, you know, opportunity for someone to go in at these lows. And if you're patient, yeah, it works out.
And if you don't believe me, just watch it. Watch it until dividends. After dividends, it's going to dip a little, and then it's going to continue on its path until earnings up to that, you know, $52 or $50 mark. Just watch it. Just watch it. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you so much, Bats. All right. Shout out to Bat Scientist. That definitely deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. There we go. Yes, indeed. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Thank you, sir. Yeah, low RSI too. I love the level. Love the level. Yeah, you guys can look up the Gamma, Vega, and all that. Great return. All right, and you can use Option Profit Calculator. That's my favorite website to figure it out. I know some brokers have built-in ones, but Option Profit Calculator is my go-to. You put it in, how much you expect to buy, time frame, expected, you know, return, or you know, dollar value where you're looking to take out of it, and it delivers it, spits it right out. Love that website. Free of charge as well. Free of charge as well. All right. 703, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, sir. How are you? How's your weekend?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Hey, nice review of the Black Panther. Damn, that was some deep stuff.
Yeah, man. A lot of people just sat there and enjoyed it. They didn't really see the message behind it, but I appreciate you, man.
I did. I was like, damn, that's some deep stuff.
Yeah.
But did you get that thing that I sent you to your Discord message?
No, I don't really, you know, during the day, man, I'm so busy. I'm not really even in the Discord. What did you send me?
It's the COBE Penny Pilot Program. It's a link to download the Excel file.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing. It gives you all the stocks from indexes to New York Stock Exchange to everything that's the options for pennies. That means any stock that can go from a penny all the way to $3.
Okay, so it's basically a list of every stock that has options.
And pennies. And in the Penny Pilot Program.
Okay, I'd like to. All right, email that file to me at happypennystocks@gmail.com, man. Because if it's definitely as useful as it sounds, I'll share it to everybody here in the, you know, on the show. I'll talk about it again tomorrow.
Yeah, because they used to. Amazon is on it, but right now Amazon is fucking too violent right now.
Right.
I've seen the freaking options go from like $10 to $20 like in 2 minutes and right back to $10.
Well, yeah, I mean it's got an incredibly high implied volatility, and you know, for those of you guys who don't know what that means, that just basically means that traders expect the stock to make incredible moves, and because of that, the options are priced, you know, significantly high because the stock is expected to make moves like that. So that's why they've got the most expensive options. And look, when you catch Amazon or Tesla or Priceline or Google or many of those other stocks that have, high implied volatility, if you catch them in the right direction, they generate significant returns. So they're justifiably expensive because they pay back everything that's due. That's for sure.
Because someone explained to me a volatility is like one is driving a Hummer, the other one is driving a Lamborghini.
Right.
Lamborghini is Amazon. A Hummer is like John Deere. It'll go up. It'll take time. Like, you can make money, but you'll make not that much money because it's slow, like a Hummer. But Amazon is like a Lamborghini.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely
like 10
not
points.
Right. Not one for a beginner, but I mean, especially to day trade per se. But these are stocks that are going to offer you incredible swing opportunities. If you got the money and are willing to put some time on it, you really can't go wrong with a leap option on something like Amazon right now. If you can afford it, if you can go in the money leap option right now on Amazon, that's an easy call, bro. I mean, that's an easy call. Google, well, maybe not Tesla, but Amazon, Google,
what do you call
sure,
it?
Facebook,
the banks.
Banks. I mean, those are predictable. Those are pretty predictable.
Like the biggest companies are the FANGs: Facebook, Amazon, Apple,
Baba, yep,
Google,
definitely.
Yeah, because for me, once I do options, I can never ever short a stock in my life again. Because I think puts are better than shorts.
You think puts are better than shorts? Oh, I believe it. Absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you. It takes less money and returns, depending on your time frame, is a lot better. Absolutely, I agree with that.
That shorts, you can blow up your account because shorts, if it goes from 10 to 5, you make profit. But what if that thing goes from 10 to 20 and you think it's going to go 5? You owe the brokerage the 10 to 20.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But puts, you just pay only what you put in the original option, and if it doesn't work, you can just wait until expiration.
Absolutely.
Because I'd rather just buy options that gives me the obligation, not sell options that gives me the rights. I'd rather have the obligations.
There it is, man.
But, yeah, I'll send you the link to your email.
We'll do. Hey, before I get you off the phone, are you looking at any stocks right now that are making a good option trade?
No, but for me, that I use like the basic one. I'll just look at Facebook once in a while, Apple, Tesla.
Okay.
Because there's this thing you shoot. What is crap? Give me a second.
Yeah, Facebook actually looks really nice right here. Facebook actually looks really nice right here. I think you're going to hit the low here in a day or two. Facebook actually looks nice. You gotta want to get these stocks. Like a Facebook when, people are kind of wondering where's the bottom, where is this going?
What do you think about Tesla?
Tesla, I don't know. I see Connor in the chat room. Connor, what do you think about Tesla? I don't know what to think. I've made my feelings very clear about Tesla. I think the guy, he's incredible. Bullshitter. I think that's what he is. In terms of the company, I don't understand how they're valued, higher than a company like Ford or GM, but it is. And
okay, this is my explanation, and this is my opinion. Okay. Yeah, his original passion is space exploration. That's Star Trek stuff, right? But he didn't have the capital. But his original company before SpaceX, before Tesla, was NetPay. He was the co-founder of PayPal. Before PayPal, people had to send checks through the mail. He was the original online credit card processor, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, SpaceX is his passion, but he didn't get enough money for NetPay or PayPal, so he made a Tesla to help him pay for SpaceX. That's why you see the Heavy 7 doing so well in space, okay? Now, why is Tesla expensive? I believe, this is my opinion again, he made Tesla expensive because the gas and car company said these cars have to be expensive. These cannot be for average people. Because if you make them for average people, you're going to kill us. And if you're going to kill us, we're going to kill you first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So he puts out the Model 3 just for inexpensive, less than $32,000, right?
Go ahead.
And they say less than an hour, 1 million people tried to order that thing online. like literally a million orders online.
Well, of course. I mean, you can only the minimum to put down is only 5 Gs. I mean, so yeah. You're going to have that many millions of orders. Now, when it comes down to, finally, hey, go ahead and sign the dotted line. I don't know how many guys are going to show up with the 40 Gs required. Now, don't get me wrong. It's 40,000 is very. Guys can buy a $40,000 car, especially the way we finance in America.
You can get I think you can get like a $40,000 like Honda Accord or Honda Civic.
Yeah, absolutely. As I just said, I mean, that's not out of the price range of the average American. But at the same time, we got to understand that right now they have specifically said that they're not even close to meeting what the demand, right? They're not even close. Yet the stock has a valuation that's 110% more than Ford Motor Company, that sells 10 times the amount of cars that Tesla does. So, a company built in the last 10 years has a higher valuation than a company that's been around for 125 years, sells more cars, has better technology, has a better manufacturing process. But look, I get it. People are excited about the technology. He's a very, charismatic figure. And we're seeing the same thing that, we saw with Apple's founder and whatever. But we'll see, man. Time will tell. We'll be here watching.
For me, with Tesla, I think it might go back to maybe 350, 375. But I may be wrong.
There it is.
They may be like a dumb rumor or something dumb, and that thing drops right back down.
We'll see. We'll keep following, bro. Appreciate the call, man.
No problem.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's keep it going. Folks. Folks. Did I say fucks or folks? Pro Second Amendment. Who's pro Second Amendment? Elon Musk? Yeah, Tesla is like a biotech stock. Their whole valuation is determined based on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Connor. Their whole value, everything about them is based on the future. Based on the Model 3, based on the truck, based on the Sun City or something like that? The Sun City deal. I mean, everything is built into the valuation. And they continually, every earnings cycle, are able to get away with it. Bad news after bad news, every earnings cycle, especially the last 3, they come out and say, yes, we're losing money, we're hemorrhaging cash, and the stock loses maybe, 10% over the course of a couple of days, and then next thing you know, they're right back up there. Just exactly like we just saw last week. Loss, right, what is that? Almost about 10%, right? 340s to a low of 295, and now here we are, back to where it basically started dropping off at. All right, Connor says if it can hold the 200, and it looks like it's doing just that. I mean, here's the 200 moving average, my red line here, if you can see it. Let me darken it up a little bit for you. But it's holding. It has a history of holding it pretty well over the last couple months since November. It's done a good job of it, and it's fighting. Don't like Friday's candlestick. Don't like Friday's candlestick, but we'll see how it moves on for the rest of the week. I'll tell you what, though, if this goes back under that 50 RSI, it could spell danger on the daily for Tesla. Oh, you're talking about Halliburton? Okay. Yeah. It still applies for Tesla too, but that Tesla trade, interesting. All right, he's talking about the Halliburton trade. If it stays above the 200, it could bounce. I agree with you. All right, potential is the key. Let's go back to your tickers. DPW Holdings, electrical components. Here's another stock fighting to stay above the 200 moving average. Lost a lot since the beginning of December. If you remember, this is the company that I wouldn't say started it, but kind of like was the second out the gate after Riot Blockchain. If you remember, Riot Blockchain came out and said, hey, we're a crypto stock. DPW came out, said they acquired a product that helped move the blockchain, quote unquote. And, you know, it looks very much like a cryptocurrency. It's like the Bitcoin sell-off hasn't bounced the way Bitcoin has bounced in the last couple of days. But that's DPW for you. All right? That's DPW. Lord Yase, you said DPW about to go crazy in the morning. Is it doing something right now? Is it up right now? It could very well move. It could very well move. I mean, if you remember, we literally watched GBTC, the Bitcoin, somewhat, not an ETF, but fund. I'll just call it a invested trust. Let's just go with the investment trust. Sell off, and then as Bitcoin recovered, you saw it also bounce off that 200 as GBTC coming from those lows. It dipped just into the single digits before rescuing itself, and now crossing over the 50 on the RSI on the daily. And again, you know, this tracks as best as anything as I've ever seen Bitcoin. If you remember, it had that reverse split. It used to be one that, you know, $300, $400 a share before that 12-to-1 forward split. All right. Let's look at some penny stocks now. And I don't think Ken is still in the building, but Ken, man, I would really love it if you called me to talk about ANDI, man. Are we about to break out here? Friday, I was really checking it out, man. I was really thinking it was going to challenge that top. It didn't, but, you know, look, man, if we break this 200, you know, an OTC 200 break is huge. That's huge. That's a big fucking deal when an OTC stock breaks the 200. I mean, that means this thing is for real. PIRS, let's keep it going. PIRS. Wow, very nice chart coming out of the summer. Coming out of summer from the sub threes to $8.63. $8.63 stock. Last couple of days, I mean, you're kind of all over the place right now, trying to figure things out from here. Volume was good at 1 million, but again, it's a biotech stock. You're going to have to do some research and find the underlying story here. Again, I know the weekly probably looks really good. Does it? Yes, it does. Again, very strong chart coming out of the summer. It's been a solid buy and hold, but moving forward, you know, you're going to have to do some research here and figure out where they are in their process of identifying, you know, a clinical stage, the completion of their clinical stage drug, which I bet is for cancer. Is it? Yes. Yes, it is. A proprietary anti-calin technology platform for cancer and other diseases. I figured. AVP. Avon. Oh, look at Avon touching the 200 on Friday. We've been seeing some guys call about Avon. We had earnings a couple of days ago. Surprising to see Avon did deliver on earnings. They actually did deliver on earnings, and here you have Avon. That wick literally touching, slapping that 200 moving average at, what is that? What was that high? 280. Exactly at 280 where the 200 sits now. So Avon, ticker AVP, is going to be one to watch this week, as, you know, we know that 200 crossing can definitely bring in quite a bit of capital as that splashes across our screen and millions of other traders. All right. Who's buying Avon, by the way? I'm just curious. I don't know anybody my age or younger who's buying Avon. So I'm curious who's buying Avon. I thought Avon was was an old lady's brand. Zion Oil, really unusual move here. I would say it's a low float stock, and it's really interesting because ZN was moving when oil was relatively depressed, and that had me feeling like, this stock was being manipulated in a way. If you look at the chart back in June of ZN, if I'm correct, oil prices were some at the lowest of the year during this time. In fact, let me see, can I bring up the oil price, or at least an oil ETF? Let's see if I could bring that up here. Yes, I can, and I'm going to put it over the candlestick. Let's darken it up, and so here it is. That blue line is the oil ETF USO. So it's not moving together. So we have the ETF again showing, and I remember this. I remember looking at the chart. I'm wondering, like, what the hell is going on here? Where you have oil at some of the lowest prices of the year, yet ZN, an oil and gas exploration company, going significantly higher. So very, very unusual. This leads me to believe, I feel, again, that this stock could be manipulated, or something as weird is going on here on ZN. Here's another opportunity, as you saw, to play the possible downside in the stock as it's stocked up. What am I messing up here? It shot up a couple days ago. Shot up a couple days ago on what? I'm looking for the news. I'm looking for the news on why it shot up, and I don't see it. Again, you know the number, 305-600-2896. Yeah. But that's very unusual. Very unusual. You said you didn't even know Avon was still around? Yeah, Avon's still around. Avon is still around. It's so funny because after we brought it up, I did happen to find a woman in front of a Barnes and Nobles who had she had her car pink, and they had the Avon little wrap on it on her car. Did ZN find another oil field or hit oil? That would do it. Yeah, absolutely. If they hit an oil field or something like that. In fact, let me go through the news. Oh, I do see something to that. Zion Oil and Gas encounters oil. It came out February 13th. Announces during an open hole wire logging and subsequent rimming operation, Zion imported free-flowing hydrocarbons while circulating drilling mud. Okay, so I guess they found some oil. Cali Rob, oh, okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right. So, yeah, look over the news if you like it. Typically, that's going to be a short-term bounce. But shout out to the guys who won on the move. CYH, Community Health Systems. This is an interesting stock because I compare it a lot to GEN, Genesis Healthcare. I wouldn't say similar companies, because Genesis Healthcare has got the overnight, kind of thing. I think CYH has that as well too. Don't they have the overnight and weekly stays and stuff? 60. Okay, yeah, they do. Or now they do. Oh, not anymore. Never mind. I see here on February 14th, Systems announced today that subsidiaries of the company have signed an agreement to sell its 60-bed Byrd Regional Hospital facility and its associated assets to Allegiance Health Management. So I figure out, hopefully that's not all their beds. I figure the company's got more than 60 beds. But very similar company to Genesis Healthcare, all about the whole, your parents are getting older, grandparents are getting older, and it's a long-term health care facility company. These companies, I'm thinking they should be, trading significantly higher than where they are and should be profitable, but both companies losing cash very fast. Both companies, no PE ratios, so that tells you they're losing money and, not doing so well. Not doing so well. CYH, Genesis Healthcare. CYH, last couple of days have been looking really good. As you can see here, we're starting to see some bullish momentum return back into CYH, touching the 200 moving average. Let me go back to that Genesis Healthcare chart. Very similar. Oh, there we go. Genesis Healthcare. Damn, are they that close? Are they that close, really? Again, I've always compared the two together, but they are, Genesis Healthcare slapping through the 200. I mean, you're looking at the chart, GEN makes the better trade, but, being it's cheaper and making a more aggressive move, CYH seems to be a little bit more stable. So let me know what you decide. Let me know what you decide. But CYH, GEN, very similar. Again, two similar companies. Let me know what you decide. Yes, it has been a very long weekend, man. But, take these opportunities to really do some good, studying and some good video watching and learning. This is a great time to do that when you have these little 3-day weekends. What's going on, Stock Guy? Let's keep it going. A few more tickers. I want to get to those gun stocks too. KERX. I'd like to know if you guys think anything is going to happen. I mean, every time they start talking about it, the gun stocks start to rally. KERX on the screen right now. This is one where it looks like it just crossed. KERX. Looks like this could be the beginning of something here. Candlesticks are getting a little bit small. Volume could be better, but hey, it's got 1 million shares traded. Let me know what the story is behind this company. Another biotech stock. Gonna have to do some research, look through the news as we just did with the previous one, KERX. All right. Connor, you said Dirty Money episode 3 is about Valiant. I wouldn't be surprised. They should make a movie on what happened there. That was a pretty effed up situation. Let me see here. Let's keep it going. BYOC. Stock Guy, you say you study every day. That's what's up. Yeah, I know you go hard with that. BYOC. Ken, I know that's one of your favorite. This one is so, I just feel like I've missed a boat on it. Another stock that came out. It's just a lottery ticket, right? You just don't see these plays every day, but when they happen, man, congrats to all the people who won big. I know I'm behind on my ka-chings, but that's been a monster call from 0001. Monster call. Good, you said all those motherfuckers died. The stock barely dropped. Yeah, man, because they don't give a damn, bro. They don't care. Bitcoin, yeah, absolutely. Not BTCS though, George M. Not BTCS though. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Not going to spend too much time on it because I know we don't have too many fans in here, but Bitcoin bouncing off that 68 or 58, 5,800 or so, up 100% from those lows, and now we're seeing Bitcoin back above the 50. That's a very bullish sign from me. But look, at the end of the day, you already know what that is. And that could be, an incredible, bull trap setting up for folks. I'm going to say it's a bull trap setting up, but we'll see. That's what I'm going to say. Let's keep it going. You see, I want somebody to bring up a ticker that's just going to make us all some money. We're still looking for that one. I do like Halliburton, that Halliburton call from Bad Scientist. Damn, dude, this thing is real beat up. Look at that. BFCH, where is it? Okay, OTC stock. I had to take off the 200 moving average because it's so damn up there. No, hell no. Dude, who brought this up? Who brought this up, man? Adonis Lovett. No, sir. Not even close. Not even close. Bitcoin stock, though, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but, the volume isn't there. Even I understand, it's Bitcoin related or whatnot, but even with that, you want to make sure it's one of the Bitcoin stocks people are actually buying, right? You want to stick with the ones people are actually buying. So BTSC, right? If this is, again, your kind of play, BTSC could be one of them. I like where this is at. If you think the bounce is real, this is a perfect opportunity to get into something like this, right? If you honestly think that, the bounce is real, as you can see here, it's missed this. This is a delayed reaction going on here. This is an opportunity where you're going to be able to go in now. In 2 days, 3 days, you might get a move here. All right. Let's keep it going. NTLK. All right. So it looks like, yeah, this stock is missed out. And you see that a lot with marijuana stocks. When marijuana has a catalyst, the popular names will run very quickly, and then you'll have one or two names that should be running that somehow the market has missed. But eventually the market finds them because guys start looking for value, and, eventually they get found. 813, you're on the air. What's up? 813, you there? All right, got to let you go. No, can't hear you. Got to let you go. Let's keep it going. NTLK. Up 66%. NTLK. Why am I seeing GM news on NTLK's news feed? They got a deal going on here. NTLK. Yeah, you're going to have to fill me in, whoever brought that up. I don't see any deal with them. Is anybody following the news on 5G? 5G is becoming more real, man. My cable company, Charter, sent out a leaflet today talking about 5G and, what the changes are going to be and how it's going to vastly change, communication as we know it. So I'm really excited about 5G, man. And we should see that, they're saying 2019, mid-2019 should be where we really start to kind of, start seeing that. But it's interesting for them to put that information out there now. All right, let's keep going. And yeah, give me the news on NTLK, whoever brought that up. I did see that ticker in the chat room. Let us know what the news is, but, you're up there. Get us in before that move. FLR. Construction stock, $57 stock. All right, $8 billion market cap. All right, this is a real company. 40. See here, Crows at 53 on the RSI. Earnings is right around the corner on the 20th. That's tomorrow to be exact. I don't know if that's right. You're going to have to check that. Indecisive candlesticks coming into earnings, so market looks like it's not sure where this could go. Stay tuned. FLR is the ticker. 5G already in Korea for the Olympics? I wish somebody would make a video on it, or I'm going to have to look one up. I'd really love to see somebody do a speed test on a 5G network. I want to see how that looks. Because I know somebody in here has gone through the experience of having quote unquote high speed internet, and you do a speed test, and you're fucking getting 30 gigabytes a second or some crap like that, and supposedly you signed something saying you're supposed to get 100, 200, 300, 400. I know somebody in here has gone through that. It's frustrating as hell. CJJD, China JoJo drugstores. What the hell is this? China JoJo drugstores. All right, $1.37 Chinese stock. Only 7,000 shares traded Friday. I'm good on that. Yeah, Christopher, very low volume, man. Very, very low volume. Very low volume. Yeah, okay, yeah, no market, yeah. Worked on a couple of websites. Worked on a couple of my websites, but still working on my eyeglass one. Look out for that video. Got that guy on Fiverr making that video for me. NIHD. I haven't seen that one in a while. NIHD. I haven't brought that one up in a minute. NIHD. Yeah, this is another wireless telecommunications space. Another one that, again, trying to figure out where it's going. But, I mean, as you can see here, when it crossed the first time across the 50, boy, that would have been a very nice trade from 31 cents a share to that high. As you can see now, it's sold off from those highs and not doing so hot. So looks to be selling off here and fighting to maintain whatever bullish momentum it does have right now. All right. Someone's begging for ARI. What is it about ARI that you like? ARI, Apollo Commercial Real Estate Investment Trust. Recent earnings a couple days ago. All right. Monster gains from those plays. Let me see here. Well, okay, yeah, that's a monster kill. I like that one.
Monster kill.
Yeah, from 1750. Oh, look, not the cheapest stock in the world, right? Not the cheapest stock in the world, but these low PE dividend paying stocks don't typically move like this. This is a very unusual move for a stock that isn't really, supposed to show this kind of volatility. Those are some big ass candlesticks for this chart. I mean, look at this. You pull the chart back, you don't see candlesticks like this throughout the chart. There's a lot of volatility showing here intraday. Bull's been full control of this. Let's see why. They posted a Q4 profit. And it also looked like they got a reco. And that's what I'm seeing. So basically solid earnings. And Jim Cramer looks like he talked about the company too. All right. ARI committed to over $2 billion in new investments in 2017. A record year for the company. All right. So big things happening over there at ARI. But, again, that's nice stock to trade. If you've already been in it, I wouldn't chase this. But solid play over the last couple of days. Appreciate you, Stock God. Yeah, we talked about GBTC, Gregory Hall, a Good turnaround there. Look at that RSI as it crosses the 50. Good return there. Got to keep following Bitcoin now. You know what it follows. Yeah, we talked about the steel stocks. We, in fact, when Bad Scientist came on the air, he brought up AKS. Here's X, another beneficiary of that possible implementation of tariffs by Donald Trump. AKS and X will be huge beneficiaries if that happens, and I think that's likely to happen. It's going to be interesting to seeing what the effect of that is going to be on things like, NAFTA, because we do have that agreement out there, because that, he's basically undermining that policy. Yes, indeed. But he said he's going to get rid of it, so this could be another way to do that. Yeah, X is insane. I mean, imagine if you had some options on X. If you had some options on X, again, another opportunity. Here's the daily chart if you would have crossed that, but I have no doubt on the hourly. Again, my favorite time frame. You go all the way back. Here's your opportunity, and boy, look at that. Oh my God! You can't follow every stock. Unfortunately, you can't follow every stock. And Equity Feed. Shout out to Equity Feed. Get 2 weeks free, no credit card required. Equity Feed, does a great job of bringing them up to you, but there's no RSI 50 crossover alert. And I've emailed them about that. Like, dude, I want something that will tell me when a stock crosses the 50 line on the RSI. I was like, well, it's not very popular, and I understand that. I mean, it's not the most popular strategy in the world, but man, it is effective. It is consistently effective. Imagine if you would have got in here, or even on the put side as it crossed below the 50 on the 60-minute charts. All right. Not the 10-minute, not 2 minutes, not 1 minute. A nice time frame that kind of smooths out the bullshit, but gets you in a little bit closer than a full day, a lot closer than a full day. The 60-minute. All right. And of course, the daily is even more accurate. RNVA is bullshit, man. Where's RNVA at? RNVA, I'm so disappointed. RNVA, I thought this was going to be a turnaround situation at the beginning of the year, but no one showed up to play RNVA. This is in a pure debt spiral, and they are no doubt just dilution up the ass right now in RNVA. Dilution up the ass, bro. I'm just get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. BW. Let's take a look at BW. God, again, this is another one I'm just be chasing. Solid move, but you got me chasing. You got me chasing. I'm too late. Nice move in BW, but you're too late. 75 on the RSI. Again, on the hourly. Where could we have gotten in there? There it is. Back there on the 12th of February. That was your in. That's my signal to get in. I'm too late. I've already, you're getting in here. You're just asking for the downside move now. You're just asking for the downside move. Great chart though. If you're already in it, enjoy it. If you're already in it, enjoy it. But I'm late. I'm late. All right, let's keep going. Still holding SFOR. That's a good move. That's fine. SFOR. You said you're still holding. Where are we at? 200. Okay, still real beat up. Here's another one just recently crossed here on the daily, hourly. Where are we at? Again, here's another one that could have got you there back in on the 12th. On the hourly, you would have got it at 0060. You're at 0088 now. Slowly moving higher. All right. It's actually kind of telling you, it's as long as it stays above there. Obviously, you know, in fact, when, you know, would have crossed that 8 would have gotten you out of there. Would have actually gotten you out. Yeah, you would have actually had sold out. Whoa, that was an ugly day. What happened here? But that 8 would have gotten you out there at 0090 at the high, to be exact. Unless you got scared out earlier. Another solid play there. Bitcoin 50K in 2018, man, get out of here. Bitcoin 50,000 in 2018, get out of here. Get out of here. No way. No way, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. New York REIT, another real estate investment trust. If you don't know what they are, they basically are companies that are legally required to reinvest a significant portion of their earnings in dividends and give them to shareholders. Also, reinvest is probably not the right word. To distribute. There he goes. They're legally required to distribute their earnings and amount of dividends to shareholders. NYRT hasn't been going really well here. I don't know. Look at these gap downs. What's going on with New York real estate? I figure the company's called New York REIT, that their significant positions are in, our assets are in New York real estate. So what's going on there? Figure it out. Figure it out. $2 a share. $340 million market cap, but probably pays good dividends. Yep, there it is, a $2 dividend. That's not bad. $2 a share, and then it pays a $2 dividend. Not bad. But these REITs, that's their job though, is to pay those good dividends. Guys buy them specifically for that. 90%. There it is, Bats. Yeah, knew it was something high like that. In your opinion, do you think it's better to put up money and trade the SPY ETF or play options with it? Options, of course. That's no question. There's no question. I mean, unless you're a millionaire, actually you don't have a lot significantly more than that. If you're going to trade, where's this SPY at? I think it's like 240 now. What is the SPY? 273, excuse me, 273. And yeah, I mean, just play options. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, play the option side. I wouldn't, why buy it? It's a $270 stock, to get a similar move where you can go in now for, $3 a contract and control 100. It's not even a question. Yeah, make way less ROI. That's absolutely right. Connor has, right on top. And Connor, you were killing it, man. You were killing those volatility ETFs, dude. Well, no, they weren't even ETFs. They were just what's the word for them? Because they weren't ETFs. What's the word for them? They're like VIX, UVXY, right? Yeah, UVXY. Are they ETFs? All right, yeah, they are called ETFs. Okay. All right, they are ETFs. They are ETFs. I don't know how are they ETFs, because what do they take positions in? I'm gonna have to do some more research on understanding this. But these are very, very dangerous, trades if you don't know what you're doing. But I saw Connor he posted something where he made and Connor in the chat, I'm talking about the Stock Junkie in the chat room. He posted a trade where he made 11 or 12,000. No, I think it was 16,000 on one of these days. Great move as things calmed down from that sell-off we had last week, at the beginning of last week. What's going on, relative? All right, a few more tickers and then we'll get you out of here. Again, not the most eventful day, right? Not the most eventful day. Let's look at those gun stocks real quick before we get off. I'll take in a couple, maybe if I got a last call or something. Ruger and Company, no movement. Not the most popular stock in the world. Olin. A lot of these gun stocks don't bring in incredible volume. They only kind of seem to kind of come alive when, unfortunately, something bad happens or there's legislation talk. They tend to move at those times. As you can see, the shooting happened, I want to say it was last Wednesday or Thursday. Most of the conversation in regards to restriction of those kind of weapons started this weekend. So we'll see how it affects those kind of stocks and if there are any moves. Don't chase it, don't chase it. But if they really start getting real about getting rid of these weapons, of that AR-15, then yeah, we could see some movement in these stocks. And I know I'm not pulling up all of them. What am I missing? I know I'm missing a couple other gun tickers. I know I gotta be missing a couple other gun tickers. Yeah, Remington went bankrupt, I think, right? Yeah, Remington went bankrupt if I remember. And a lot of people have found it really disgusting when the gun stocks ran after the shooting in Las Vegas. People found that really disgusting. If you remember the conversations that were taking place around gun stocks during that time. But if I'm correct, yeah, they went bankrupt because if Remington did go bankrupt. All right, gun stock market. Where's Smith & Wesson? Is that AOBC? Are they AOBC, Smith & Wesson? I don't know why I was thinking they... Okay, that's their parent company. Smith & Wesson's parent company is AOBC. All right. So AOBC is Smith & Wesson. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, Smith & Wesson is AOBC. That's their ticker right now. It hasn't been doing so good. It has not been doing so good. It has not been very favorable to them. Where's the 200 at on that? Wow, they got below the 200 back in July. So in all honesty, this is going to sound really disgusting, but they could use some gun ban talk. Looking at that chart, they can use some gun ban talk. Because that's probably the only thing that can change that situation. Boy, that's been negative for quite some time. Craig G said Remington is in protection. All right. Poultry play. Bad scientist with some tickers in the chat room. All right, guys. Again, I know we can go on and on and on and on. You try to make days like this interesting because nothing really else kind of happens on these kind of, market closed days. I'll go ahead and unless I'm looking to see if anything else of interest. I didn't see any real news come out today at all. No interesting companies listed. We see publicly traded firearm companies. LLLI, what is that? I think it's an OTC. Yeah, this is an OTC. Oh yeah, this is an old OTC. I don't even know if they're still reporting or not. What other AAXN? They make body cameras and quote unquote electric weapons. Looks like this stock has actually done some things these last couple of days. Might want to do some research into that. High PE as well. All right. Geo, I'm not a big fan of the private prisons, Mr. Carter. Is that a Mrs. or Mrs. Carter? Miss Melendez Carter? I don't trade any private prisons. No private prisons. Private prisons, that's a violation. That's a violation of capitalism. All right? Private prisons, there shouldn't be an incentive to profit on incarceration. And private prisons that's a violation of everything that capitalism, if you're a real capitalist, you don't stand for that. You know? Yeah, private prisons is slavery. If you're a real capitalist, that's not capitalism, man. That's a violation of capitalism. You know, that somebody who makes profit on, all right, you sentenced to 5 years, but I make profit if I can keep you in there longer than 5 years. And history shows us that these private prisons put these prisoners in positions where they get violations, where they get time added on to their sentences. There's an incentive for them to do that. So they ended up violating these prisoners' rights. It's not good business. It's not good business. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Few more tickers. ACBFF. ACBFF, Aurora Cannabis Incorporated. This is a Canadian marijuana company. I remember when I called this company a pump and dump. It was like a year ago. They actually sent me a cease and desist email. And by the way, I got threatened on my post on Patriot One Systems. I put out a post on Patriot One Systems on my website, Advanced Equity Research. I got a cease and desist letter on that one. They can do it. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You can send. I got a collection email full of them. You know. These people really think I move stocks like that, but it's crazy. ACBFF, and it's more or less because their shareholders watch my shit and then they go run and tell the company. That's what happens. It's not because I put it out and they see it. No, if someone runs and tells the company, hey, this guy wrote some shit. That's really what it is. ACBFF. I still, you know, I don't think they should be trading. I'm just going to say this. I don't think they should have a $400 million market cap. I'm just going to say that. I don't think that they're worth $400 million or whatever it is they're going for. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, look, you know, you want to talk about a consistent stock trading strategy, shorting pump and dumps is good money, but it's slow money. I'm going to be honest with you. It is slow money. I got some trades right now in Buds I'm holding short. Buds is a stock that, again, go on my website, Advanced Equity Research. It's been almost 2 months in that stock. That should break lower here any day now. CANN is another one. That should break lower here any day now. It's good money, but it's slow money, bro. It's slow money. And sometimes you get squeezed. That's rarely, I mean, it's, you know, it's rare that you get squeezed because just like anything else, you follow the RSI, and as long as the stock is showing weakness, you're good. But, you know, it's slow money, bro. It's very slow money. But it's consistent. You know, it's consistent, but it's slow money. Gucci, you said they're worth that. Their weed is very bomb and for real, extremely profitable. I don't doubt that some of these companies have good products. It's just that they get to levels where their stock is overvalued. It's nothing personal with the underlying business. It's never personal. Some of these, look, I've seen some of these OTC companies with great products. You know, you find them at Walmart, and you know, if you guys remember that OTC company Soup Q from the Soup Man from Seinfeld, you remember that? SOUP. Are they still in bankruptcy? Yes, they are. The ticker was Soup Q. Let me get rid of that. I don't know what's going on with the stock now, but it's actually some good ass soup. But as you can see, the stock is shit, and the company's poorly ran. You know, but it's some. If you go to Kroger's, Winn-Dixie, or something like that, they got the product, and it's good soup. You know? Yeah. You said don't ever underestimate crypto. Don't be very confident. Look, man, I don't. You know, the cryptocurrencies, man. You know, I just wish. I don't even want to talk about them. It's just one of those things where it's just. I just feel so bad for so many people that were already misled with the lending platforms and, you know, this incredible unfair wealth transfer that took place for 6 months, you know, from where we saw from, you know, October to December, where the poor and the, you know, least educated got so excited and gave all their money to the brainiacs of the world, the computer scientists and the data analysts and the people who knew what the hell was going on and sold them those dreams, man. You know? Bullshit. Hey, Christopher, man, when are you gonna help us do a Dominican Republic show, man? Shit. HM said, had you listened to me, you would enter Fuse, tripled your money in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's always easy to say, man, when it's all said and done. Yes, indeed. You said Ripple's going to run. I like Ripple. I'm not dogging crypto, you know, all of them and stuff, but I like, you know, some of those have a tendency to run better than others. And, you know, I would want some people just to admit that Bitcoin is MySpace. Bitcoin is MySpace in like 2008, where you still got like a few people who are like hardcore and just don't want to give it up. And you've got another, you know, thing out there that's like really heating up and people are getting excited about. But then you still got some people who are like, hey, man, what's your MySpace? You see what I mean? That's what I look at, like Bitcoin. CNAB, United Cannabis. Here's another one that I probably should have wrote about, but the volume like that isn't the best. Ripple News, yeah, Ripple's the, you know, the corporate, you know, crypto. Ripple seems to be the one corporate America enjoys. You know, I think if you want to go crypto, man, you know, and you're a new one, you know, you're not the guy who got burned, you're not the guy who's sitting on losses, you're fresh in, go find that cryptocurrency that like is all about maintaining your privacy. Go find the one that's all about like nobody knows who you are, nobody can see you, that's the one you really want. I think that's the cryptocurrency of the future, man. That's the one right there. USEI. I don't even know what happened to this thing. I loved it going into California legalization, but now it's just nice move there on Friday, but still. Said Pred looks like it's going back into the ones. Yeah, man. PRED. I was really excited about this. I thought, you know, and then when it pulled back and started challenging, I still was like, I don't know. I'm not excited about it yet. And then, now we're below the 50. And this guy sent me an email. He's like, man, can you make another video about Pred? I was like, no, hell no. I got my people in. I got my people out of there. I ain't no, for what? Hell no, man. What else? Couple more. OCLR. Oclaro. 687. Up 1%. Up 1%. I like this one though. I like the way this is setting up. But this doesn't do a good job. 55. I would watch this one. I like it on the daily, but I mean, again, here's another one, because when you see a stock that has crossed the 50 on the daily, that means it's already crossed it on where I like to get in. And now I'm looking at it and it's little, where is it at here? The 13th. What day was the 13th? Last Tuesday. Last Tuesday is where you would have got me in at. So when it's already passed, it's already late for me. On the daily, when it passes the 50. Hold on 1 second. Where's my cross at? On the 13th at 652. We're at 687 now. All right. Get in there at the 50 on the hourly. Set a 10% stop loss. 5% if it's a real, if it's a crazy one. Said Litecoin for 2018. I don't know about Litecoin anymore, man. The guy dumped it on you, bro. I don't even know why Litecoin is even running. The guy said hasta la vista, man. The man who made it said he don't want to fuck with it anymore. That's the equivalent of basically abandoning the project. I don't know how people can still ride with Litecoin when the man said, I'm done. What's going on, Juan de Casa? XRP, XLM, Nebo, Rand stock. Litecoin has LitePay. All right, one last call at 409. You're on the air. What's up?
Good evening, sir. I think it's my 5th time calling. I'm the Viking Therapeutics guy.
Oh, appreciate you. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. My new move, I'm looking at FTR, Frontier Communications.
FTR, interesting company, because this is, I don't want to call it a second rate, but they're kind of a smaller kind of area cable company. Why this play?
If you look back, I think they did a reverse split a few months ago. I think it was about $60 stock. And I'm pretty sure they got bought out with AT&T, or they did something with them. And so there's a lot of value here. If you look, I mean, the stock's still trending back up. It's going to eventually go back to the $30, $40 level. I don't know how long it will take. What do you think about this one, though? I mean, you think it's worth a play or not?
I think, I just feel like, from what I know about the company, it's being squeezed by the majors, so the Charters, Verizons of the world, and it's one of those cable companies that stays kind of out of their footprint in order for them to stay competitive. I do know that, for example, I didn't have an experience with their service, but I do know here in North Carolina, they're in places where they just don't have the ability to compete, like Raleigh, Durham, that area where they're being priced out in the majors. The majors are just killing them in terms of some of the offers. So, I'm looking here on the chart on the daily. It's significantly below the 200. The daily is not very friendly. I'm looking at, let's go to the weekly.
I mean, how does that play in? I mean, because it really doesn't show because they did a reverse split, so you really can't go off their average, right?
Well, I mean, since the reverse split, or was it a forward split or a reverse split?
It was a reverse.
It was a reverse split. Okay, so the stock had. Let me see. Let me go back. What was this? 1 for 15. Oh, it's a 1 for 15. So it looks like it's actually a forward split. Hold on. Let me verify. They're giving you. I want to see. Let me see. Actually, you know what? Frontier. Let me make sure. Frontier. Reverse split. I'm curious. Reverse split for you is overblown. Yeah, it was a 1 for 15 reverse split back in July, on July 7th. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, reverse splits aren't a good sign to begin with, and as you can see, the stock sold off since then. The selling has cooled off, though. I mean, when you look at the weekly, the selling has cooled off, and we are starting to see a turnaround, especially in the weekly. 922 is actually probably a good thing for you. As you said, this is going to be something you're going to have to be patient with. You're going to have to be patient with, and it hasn't showed up so far in the daily, but I definitely do see the sign here in the weekly charts. Let me go to like a 10 MA.
Dividend, the small dividend, but
yeah. Let me see, a 50. All right, so yeah, we are across the 50. That's a good sign then. Where's the 100? All right, so we're just below the 100. All right, so I mean, things are turning around. Things are turning around here. Things are turning around here, and it's moving up higher. And yeah, I love the way that weekly is setting up. And now that I put my moving averages back out here, I don't like to crowd the screen, but I think people at home can see what we're talking about. But it's actually looking really nice these last couple of days.
You're a boss, man. I love how you dissect and put your charts and all that stuff in there. See, I learned from you too, you know. Yeah. And I'm just using common knowledge. And then secondly, I have another one I'm looking at just based on the trend is HTGM.
HTGM. Let me write that FTR down because now that we've done a little bit of homework on it, actually looks really good from these lows. Bats, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Actually, that does look really good from those lows. That was a good call. HTGM. All right, so biotech play. I'm always scared about these because you just never know how these are going to go. But this is a really nice mover from the beginning of the year. Boy, look at that coming out of the sub twos. Adding $3 since January 1st. Boy, this is a winner. I'm guessing
you're get on there. It's up 3 or 4%.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're already in it though. I'm guessing, right?
No, I'm not, but I've been following it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just asking you. I think the trend is going to continue.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, again, here's another one with a very strong weekly chart. Where's the 200 on the weekly? So it's probably up there. But no, here's another one where on the weekly it's crossed some very bullish moving averages. If we go back on the daily, that's the same story. But I missed my entry. Looks like it's been a while since it's got
we missed it. But I mean, I still think there's a little bit of profit left in that stock, just based on the trend.
All right. Well, yeah, it's got a nice trend. Yeah, definitely got a nice trend, and especially if it holds these 450s, where again it's at 506, and that was a really good candlestick for Friday. You really needed that after that first red day, after 6 consecutive days of green. So that Friday green was very necessary on that because that would have attracted quite a few of the shorts if you got the confirmation of the selling there on from Thursday of last week. So
I'm in a cash spot right now. I'm not in any position.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then
took my profit.
as Bad Science is saying in the chat room, pay very attention to FTR and that earnings. Bats, I think it will disappoint on earnings just because from what I know, it'll probably disappoint on that. But I think whenever that happens, you catch whatever the low is on that. I think, we'll see what happens. But that earnings could change investor outlook on the stock. That's the only thing that scares me about it.
Well, God bless you, man. Hey, good call. Take care, buddy.
No problem. Thank you, man. Appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me go back to this FTR call because that was really good. And the thing about me is I'm willing to change how I feel about a stock as I get more information. You never want to fall in love with these companies because these companies you fall in love with the story. These companies will let you down every time, man. They'll break your heart. FTR, when he first called, I looked at it. I didn't like it. It was far. And you put the moving averages on there, and it actually starts to become a more attractive stock. Again, if I go to my hourly chart, look at that. Again, here's another chart where I could have got in. Oh man, here's another. Yeah, this could have been a beautiful entry there. Back there at what was that? 757 or so. Now we're at 922. But again, going back to the daily chart. But again, Bad Scientist is absolutely right. Earnings is on the 27th. Again, that might be a day or two later because TradingView isn't always right. But although we're starting to see signs of a recovery, it could very well disappoint. But here's the thing too, Bats. Do you know that, for example, if you go back to Snapchat, right? If you go back to Snapchat was very similar play where the stock, or this is him calling. 919, Bats, what's up, man?
Hey, Sal, how's it going?
Doing good. I'm guessing you want to talk about that.
Yeah, FTR. I mean, I'm looking at the daily chart over the last 3 years, and it looks like statistically, let me see here, there might have been 1 year back in, I'm not sure when that is, but 3 years back, it looks like after every earnings call, this thing drops. After every earnings call. Yeah. Everyone except maybe a few in the last 3 years. So, this one would have been good to go in at the bullish engulfing signal at that. I guess it formed like a triple bottom. If you look at about like 660 thereabouts. Where it challenged 660 again at support and is up. So this is where my technique works. You get in on the dip, so this would have been 660, traded up until before earnings. So it looks like earnings call is coming.
So you would have gotten in at again that low, right? That RSI low, which was again sub-teens there a couple of days ago. And you would probably be trying to sell the stock now.
Yes, I would hold on to it because earnings is on the 27th. I would sell on the 26th. Yeah. If it's after hours on the 27th, I'll hold just before the last hour of the market and then sell. Because looking at this statistically, it always drops after that. But good that FTR came up because, like you mentioned, after earnings, if it does drop, it's probably going to retest that 660, Absolutely. In which case you can get back in and then trade it back up again for the next earnings.
Yeah, I think this is a stock that's already depressed, but yeah, I mean, it could very well gap down, and that gap down could be an opportunity to ride for $1 or $2 of profit on FTR.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be definitely be watching that, and I agree with you. It'll be a disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's law of statistics, probability. It's dropping after each earnings call. So, yeah, that's all I had. Thank you, Sal.
Appreciate it, Bats.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So I mean, look, could it surprise? Very well could, but it's likely not to surprise. It's definitely not to surprise. And I was going to mention on Snap, this is an opportunity where sometimes where you have guys who expect a loss get killed. I mean, a lot of guys got killed on Snapchat. Boy, Snapchat came out with that number that surprised people. Still losing cash overall, but a lot better performance on the advertising side. And now we're looking at Snapchat, challenging what is a multiple month high, which is a multiple month high. I'm seeing some $20 calls. $20 calls on Snap. Can you imagine people talking about $20 calls on Snapchat 2 months ago? You would have been laughed out of the room. You would have been laughed out of the room if you mentioned $20 calls on Snapchat a month or 2 months ago. Bats, you said Snap is going down. Could very well. A lot of people don't like that revision. I don't use Snapchat, but guys told me, I guess Snapchat, they redid something on the app, and they don't like it. People really, really don't like it. All right. Yeah, definitely check out my videos on options. It's a very lucrative way to trade. Again, if you're tight on cash, if you're willing to absorb a little bit more risk, definitely a lot more risk than straight stocks. By all means, you definitely want to look at options, especially if you day trade options. All right, stay out of the day trading of options. I mean, it's so hard because I know the beginners, even if I say stay out of it, they're gonna jump right into it, and I'm gonna get the emails. But here's the link to my Google Drive. If you don't catch it, or if you're watching TV, email me, happypennystocks@gmail.com. Again, email me, happypennystocks@gmail.com. I will send you the book on the moving averages as well. I've sent that out to quite a few people. I hope you're using the moving averages. They're very, very good to use. I put every moving average on the book. I just put it on my chart so that way I can be able to tell, especially when I'm trading options, where the stock is trading with. Are we trading in the momentum moving averages, or are we looking and fighting for support? And of course, use my RSI strategy, which I think works. And again, you can look at that video by Nem that I given to you in my Google Drive. That is a great way to trade options as well as stock. You can use stock to trade that. And by the way, in that Google Drive, you can look at the other folder within that drive. It goes to the Investors Live videos, where he's got it's like a 12-hour course on stock. So it takes quite a bit of time to go through, but it's well worth it, man. Go through these guys' videos, and you only need to watch it one time. You only really need to watch it one time, and then the rest maybe review here and there. But once you watch these DVDs, whether it be Tim Sykes or whoever, reputable, you'll know how to kind of take it from there, and the rest is just trial and error. Lord Yase, you said you emailed me and I didn't get back to you? happypennystocks@gmail.com. I responded to a lot of emails this weekend. Yeah, Happy Penny Stocks, plural. Happy Penny Stocks, plural, @gmail.com. Happy Penny Stocks. He said the URL is not found. Yeah, okay, so email me and I'll send it to you in the link. Sometimes it fucks up with that. Email me and I'll send it to you in the. But a lot of you guys already have that link. A lot of you guys already have that link. All right. Yes, long call on Halliburton. Let's look at Halliburton one more time. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It sold off, so it broke off momentum, right? This is 5 and 10, so it broke off the momentum averages, and now we're fighting for support. So You've got multiple day support here. Friday, that's exactly what it needed. That's exactly the candlestick it needed for Friday. So now we're looking for confirmation of the bullish move above this 100 moving average. So we're looking to see Halliburton bounce off this and, you know, continue to challenge. What's this moving? I think it's the 50, right? Yes, it is. That's the 50. And then finally challenge the 50. If not tomorrow, then the day after. And continue to get above that 5 moving average. So now we're okay. Solid bullish momentum coming back into the stock. All right. Because once we see that move, this RSI should be on above the 50 on the daily. But look at that. Oh, this is beautiful. So we still got some good time to get in here. Oh, way to call this, Bats. Way to call this, man.
Perfect.
You know, I'll give you the Quake 3 perfect, man.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is where I want to be. I mean, literally sitting right on the 50. Literally sitting right on the 50. And if we get the bounce tomorrow, this would be beautiful. That's a beautiful entry. And when we get the right entry, this is what happens. Obviously, I don't know we're going to get a similar move, but again, let's see the cross. If we get a right move as it goes higher, look at that. Oh, God, can we get a move like this? What was that, 52 to what, 57? Oh, my God, that's a $5 move. Every $1 is 10%, so you're talking about a 50% return on your money. Every $1 on a not on a high volatility stock, but on a stock with a decent IV, every 1% on the underlying is a 10% return on the option. So a $5 move is the equivalent of 50% on your money. Now that doesn't always apply to every stock. That doesn't always, but it's close. It's close. Doesn't always apply. Obviously, you know, if you're in the money and it's expiring like tomorrow, those returns are vastly different. I'm talking about something that's got at least a month or more on the option. All right, does not apply to a weekly option. Weekly option, you can make 100% in minutes, literally in minutes, if it goes your way. Anyway, GG or Fisher G, you like trading options on the Qs? Absolutely. I mean, there are guys who only trade the Qs, right? For example, Mr. Lloyd, our good friend Mr. Lloyd, who calls up, all he does is trade price line, for example. Mr. Lloyd only trades price line. This is all he does. All day is he trades price line. So, yeah, there are stocks that you can just specialize in, and that's the only thing you trade. And it's, you know, you get to know a company. You get to know its history, the way it trades. You get very familiar with it. And you can do that, you know. You like certain ETFs, QQQ. Here's another one, you know, QQQ. This would have been a great, you know, stock to trade again. You know, once it broke the 50 line, this would have been a great short. Look at that. As it crossed the 50, below the 50, you go in there with a put, stay in there until a significant pop above the 50. All right, that would have been a great short. Obviously, you would have got out of here because it crossed that moving average. You would have sold about right here. You would have sold about right here, but again, here's your buy signal right here on the Qs. Here's your buy signal. Let me zoom in so you can see that. All right, again, crossing over the 50. Here's your buy signal. That was a red candlestick, but doesn't matter. That's your buy at the 50. Stay in long, holding your moving averages. Again, get that ebook from me. Get that ebook from me. You know what these moving average lines are. All right, get that ebook. Put these moving averages on here. Stay along with them unless they break. Obviously, this broke. Could have scared you out, but that RSI keeps you in. All right, that RSI keeps you in. Even though it broke, The RSI says, hey, this is still good, so it keeps you in. All right, and now this could break lower, and you'll sell somewhere, around here if it does break. That's where you sell. But that would have been a nice move from 157 to a high of 165. All right. Anybody in with me in Apple? Before I get out of here, anybody in Apple with me? I'm holding Apple from the 50 cross. I'm up real nice on Apple. This is Apple. Again, you can't follow everything. And obviously, if I was a millionaire, every damn stock crossing, every large cap crossing the 50, I'd be all up in it. Joe Johnny, I got to get off my ass and write an ebook, huh? But you know what? I guess nothing new is under the sun, but what scared me about writing an ebook, because a lot of my information comes from different people. I've always wondered, like, if somebody going to, like, try to come after me, not legally, but is somebody going to be like, hey, you took this from Tim Sykes, and you took this from this guy and this guy and that guy, because a lot of my shit is from, like, a bunch of other people. But I guess nothing new is original anymore. So I don't think anybody is here. I'm in Apple options. I'm sitting really nice in some Apple options, man. And I'm gonna be dumping those, especially if this starts to challenge the 50 on that RSI. I'll be dumping that. And we got the cross today, Friday, but I wanted to continue to hold because the Qs are starting to move in positive territory. Londale Carter, you said, yeah, you're right, man. Why are you guys saying I don't email? I know you guys get emails from me. People in the chat room saying I don't email them. Email me tonight. Right now. I'm going to answer people's emails tonight. So I don't hear people saying I don't. Because I know guys in the chat room who got this weekend got the book as well as my Google Drive. Does Elfin have options? Yes, but they're not liquid. And then because of that, they don't move the way they're supposed to. So they're not worth buying. They don't move the way they're supposed to. E-liquid options are the worst options to buy because they don't move the way they're supposed to move. Like, they don't move. It's just you don't want to buy illiquid options. You don't want to buy illiquid options. happypennystocks@gmail.com. happypennystocks@gmail.com. All right, and I'll send you the link to my Google Drive. And if you ask for that moving average book, it's just one book, and you'll get all the moving averages that you see there on the screen in that book. I just put them all on my chart, and you'll know exactly which one is. And of course, give each line different colors so you know what they are. You'll still forget once here and there, but for the most part, always make your 200 red, because the 200, shorting a stock under the 200 is one of the most high probability trades you can make. It's a very high probability trade, shorting a stock under the 200 moving average. Not too low under it. I mean, some of them do get oversold, but if a stock spikes, like it's been a beater all year, and then you get just a huge volatility day on some news, and it's still below the 200 moving average, that's a really great short. I'm thinking, what can I have an example of that, of a recent example? Let me see. What was like off the top of the dome? Ears. Was that recent? Then we had a day example like that. No. Let me see here on daily. Yeah, like something like this. Here's the 200, right? So the 200 significantly above it, and then you get a high volatility day or a big day of gains. All right, ears is too cheap. There's another. Hold on. There's another. Think of just an example I can show real quick of that, where you had a really XTNT Fridays. Let me see here. XTNT. Yeah, there he goes. XTNT. This is a perfect example. All right, so stock's been a beater all year, right? Beater all year. Shoots up, high volatility day, right? Fails at 200. As soon as it failed this 200 here, you could have shorted this all. And that's exactly what happened here. As you can see, it failed at 200. And, it eventually settled down after hitting a high of 793. And we'll see that on the daily. Watch this on the 5-minute. Look at that. So we saw the 200 is at 7 something. It's like up here somewhere. We're on the 5-minute chart, so it's going to be different here. But it failed it on the daily, and you just saw, this is the selling. You could have it's a beautiful short up here. And it should follow through for the rest of this week. And I know the shorters just have to be chomping at the bit here. They've just got to be chomping at the bit of XTNT. All right. Yeah, it's a low volume. It's typically a low volume, but the volume's in there now. The volume's in there now. For example, the guys are going to sell tomorrow. I can almost assure you this would be a red day tomorrow. All right. Oh, no. Let me get out of here. No, damn, man. I always go. It never feels like 2 hours, though. Shit. Oh, and I know I get the emails, people bitching, man. I can't watch the whole thing. All right, let me ring the bell, get you guys out of here. Support my sponsors on my links, blackboxtrader.org. Great trades that you can follow on a daily basis. I hope you guys are really using the software, those of you guys who went in and are identifying some great long-term trades. Following the large money that I've been looking at. That's kind of what got me, besides that 50 line, but to be able to see that I saw, some large investors, again, on the hourly, following their example. I was going to go into trade anyway, but just to see that other people saw it the way I saw it. And now I'm just really enjoying the profits of Apple. And I'm hoping it's going to keep going, but Friday, looks like it's probably going to end up being time to close Apple, even though I still got quite a few weeks left on the option. But profit is profit. Profit is profit, and we'll let that go. Another stock I was looking at was Caterpillar. Caterpillar was another one there where this could become a put situation for me if I see a commitment tomorrow after the first hour of the day on Caterpillar. If Caterpillar does in fact sell off, I'm going to go in on the put side on Caterpillar on Caterpillar, because here's the thing. Bad science is called up about the whole steel situation. Here's the thing. Steel, increase in price of steel hurts Caterpillar. Caterpillar is an exporter. If Caterpillar's got to spend more money buying steel to make its products, they're going to have to translate that. They got to move that on to their customers, most of them being international buyers, because a large portion of their business is international. And cheap dollar or not, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt, in the short term. That's going to hurt in the short term. So thank you, Bats, for that information. Thank you for that information. So we're going to keep watching Caterpillar. Also, I have Intel. I wrote down Intel as well. Intel is also on the put side. I'm watching. What else? Watching Intel. I also got Oracle looked at. Oracle. That's starting to turn around. Possible break in that. I'm a little early on Oracle. But Caterpillar, Intel. Retail is also getting a bit weak. Retail, seeing a little bit, but now it's kind of fighting. Where's that? I think Foot Locker was one that was interest to me. I saw Foot Locker show some weakness on Friday. Not too bad, but Foot Locker is fighting it. And I think Foot Locker earnings is not too far down the road if I'm right, unless I may be off on that. Let me see, where's Foot Locker? Yeah, it's a good couple of days. Where's Foot Locker at? Yeah, it's March 2nd. So Foot Locker, I'm going to be really interesting to see what Foot Locker does. Roku, I was actually kind of surprised, man. Roku, I thought Roku, we'd start seeing some selling on Roku, but no, it hasn't happened. Roku's still looking very bullish, and we should get the number tomorrow on Roku. I know I haven't talked about it. Nobody in the chat room has brought it up. You guys know Roku. I lost $750 on Roku, man. I was pretty pissed that day when I had the show, and I held the trade for a week. Thankfully, I bought a put that was, had like 3 or 4 months on it. So I ended up just eating a lot of time value because it wasn't doing what it was supposed to. But I hate losing money. Period. I hate losing money. Period. All right. Puts are faster than calls. Absolutely. Stocks go down faster than they go up. So yes, if you're looking to buy puts, your hold time is significantly shorter than if you buy calls. And you can see examples in that in stocks like Win, right? You buying a put, your hold time is typically significantly shorter than if you buy calls. Stocks, good companies don't stay down for very long. Good companies don't stay down for very long, so that's just how it works. All right, let me get out of here. I'm out of here for real. I'm out of here for real. I know I keep going every time I say like I'm so African like that. If you ever had an African family come to your house, they're always like that. Like, all right, we're gonna get ready to leave, and then another hour of talking happens. Let me ring the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Ring the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Ring, ring, ring. Yes, indeed. Great show, everyone. Great show. I'd like to start implementing a little bit more of this. I think now, many of you guys have kind of gotten comfortable to the style where we're just going to really kind of start looking and doing a lot more in-depth charting, spend a little bit more time on each stock, and not necessarily, it's cool with the breezing through, because sometimes we do need to do that, because I know some of the penny stocks, the OTC stocks, there's only so much you can say about them, but some of these large caps, we're gonna have to do some real digging and actually looking weekly, daily, intraday time frames, really seeing how we can profit off that. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me put the theme song, get up out of here. Appreciate all of you who are watching the show. Watch the show. This is your first time, please click subscribe. As always, I thank, let me see here, all my long-term listeners. You know who you are. Cashflow, Ricardo Joseph, Lord Yase, Fisher G, Londell Carter, Gucci, JT the Bullhead Trader, Joel Kraft. Thank you, Connor. I appreciate you so much, man. Connor, you said your family does the same thing? Yeah. Yes, indeed, man. Oh, it's time to go, kids. It's always kind of happen like when parents go visit other parents and you're playing with their kids, right? You're a kid and you're playing with your friends and all that. and the mom and dad are like, hey guys, you guys get ready to leave. And then, you know, you go and see what they're doing. The next thing you know, they start talking. It's another hour. That's kind of how it is. Shirley Lewis, Dre Haley, FPV Jungle. Who else was in here? Donzel Essex, Clay Track, all my callers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will see you guys back here. Georgia General, thank you, all of you guys. Same time, same place tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone. Take care.